please tell me a little bit about your involvement with SuperLeague?
Yeah, absolutely. So Super League is really interesting to me. It's especially the arena games and what they're doing right now with the combination of live and virtual. And to me, it feels like one element of the future of our sport, especially in high performance. It kind of gamifies it, but it's head-to-head racing. There's always been this dream of being able to, how do we keep triathlon short and fast and furious and action-packed? How can we bring it to an arena environment so that we can all, be there and cheer? And then also, how do we, still keep it relatable to a lot of age groupers who are at home, training on Zwift, and they know what that feels like, that all out 5-minute effort or whatever. And so for me, it's been really fun to watch them evolve that concept, and it's definitely a work in progress. And so my involvement is I'm doing what they call a coach's corner piece, where we sort of break out from their weekly podcast, and I talk about some of the, maybe it's the sports science or the sports psychology of what's going on and how it compares to other formats of our sport around the world. And I'm also doing it in conjunction with another AI platform that I work with, which is really interesting, called Humango. And Humango is basically working to basically create an algorithm that distills my coaching knowledge and other top level coaches' knowledge into essentially a personalized training experience for athletes that can access all the wearable technology that we have on our wrist, all day long, every day. And a lot of times we're creating more data than we actually can sort of crunch or process or distill. And so the goal or the outcome of this is that it's an easy entry, very personalized and adjustable platform that auto adjusts. It's actually tracking things like HRV and resting heart rate and percentages of time at threshold, and it's fascinating. It's been a real learning experience for me, because I've had to actually kind of go and do some gut checks on why do I do what I do and how do I program the way that I do, and then to be able to sort of break it down into spreadsheets and assign percentages of time and energy systems to my training theory, which a lot of it is innate, a lot of it's experience, but it's been good. At first, I was actually a little bit skeptical, but it's been fun to watch it actually evolve and produce something that I would say, okay, that's actually something that I would write. And I'll game the system sometimes too. I'll throw in, I'll miss practices and I'll throw in a extra race at the last minute, and you watch the thing, it's like calculating, and it actually recreates the entire periodization all the way up to your A race. So
so how far off is that from what you would do manually if one of your athletes did that? I guess it's rewriting it according to your rules.
Yeah, I know. Well, I got to be careful. I'm gonna put myself out of work here pretty soon, but it's really, really good. A lot of it is going to be user dependent, like how much you want to engage with the platform as well. So it's doing a lot of it automatically. And to be honest, for 90% of users who are going to have a baseline understanding of endurance sport and training, it's going to do way more than they know what's going on to calculate specific targets for them. And then, I've always said that if you live in an area where you have access to a high level coach who's paying attention to you, can look you in the eyes every day, can see you on the track, and
nothing can beat that, right?
That's a great option, but not everybody. Yeah, exactly. But we don't always have that in our community. And there's people who live in all kinds of, you might live in the city and you can't make it out to practices because there's too much traffic, or you might live in a remote area, it may be just cost prohibitive for some people as well too. They want to just go on this journey of sport. Everybody deserves to learn what they're capable of, but they don't have the resources to hire a personal expert. So this is a really.
But to me, it seems like that would not be a danger to coaches, because it's simply automating the routine parts. It's like having a secretary. It's like a CEO having a secretary. That doesn't put him out of business. It just makes
That's right.
the science part be taken care of, and then the personal relationships that cannot be
Yeah.
automated. A machine cannot be a empathetic kind of mentor to me, but you can, or a coach can.
Yeah, and that's really insightful, Andrew. It's so this is something that can help actually coaches, particularly if you're a newer coach and you don't have 20 years of experience in putting together all the multiple layers of information of triathlon. It's a very complex sport, right? So to be able to streamline your process as far as being able to analyze a lot of data and seeing how it shakes out as far as how it impacts that person's progression and their upcoming training, then of course you can go in and make changes if you don't like it. So it is a platform that coaches can use, but it's also a platform that athletes can sign up for independently and can explore as well. And it'll do a great job. And I guess probably the most basic way I would say is, the days of sort of Googling or finding stock training plans and on the internet, like that's obsolete now. Like that's in our rearview mirror, and this really is the future. And yeah, so it's exciting. It's worth checking out for sure.
Yeah,
And it's been
have you
interesting
seen
for
any of
me.
your life sport coaches use this to plan to write
Eventually,
the
we're gonna.
plans
Yeah,
basically?
yeah. Eventually, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean that is in the future. That is eventually is the plan. Is that you know this will supersede what we're doing right now, and it's going to provide a better experience for athletes. So it's not replacing the coach. It's enhancing or boosting the
Right.
coach and
And
their abilities. So
and
yeah,
what's the name of it
it's
again?
cool. It's called Humango.
Cool. I'll put a
Humango.ai.
link. I'll put a link in the
Yeah, check it
description down
out.
below, so that'll be something people can go check out. I'm definitely going to look at that.
Yeah, but back to Super League. So I'm watching these races unfold, and it really profiles a different kind of athlete. We're seeing, I mean, obviously the Alex Yees of the world, the Hayden Miles of the world, Beth Potters. I mean, they're world class athletes, and they're going to shine at most distances. They're just so versatile. But we're seeing other athletes come through like Bragmar or Nishlag, who are good athletes, but this really does highlight or emphasize maybe sort of their special characteristics of being able to go hard and fast and be technically precise as well. Singapore was open water swim, but a lot of them are in the pool. And that's a different kind of swimming
Yeah,
than
totally.
getting on the draft. You have to be
Totally
able to
different.
hit your turns and
Like
streamline and
none of the triathletes
yeah,
I
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like I used to swim with a swim squad. None of us could turn properly or like dive in
Mhm.
properly. We're all kind of goofy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, but even and of course, there's different grades of that. But when you get to the highest level, like these are world class athletes, but you can see like some of them are just faster off the wall, or their dive starts are better. Or they just swim better in clean water. Their stroke is less disrupted, so it does help them. And to me, it's cool. It's just different, and it's cool. And then also, they're riding, tax trainers on Zwift. And so they've got their competitors right beside them the entire time. So there's that psychology, but then they also have live metrics of themselves and their competitors in front of them on screen as well while they're racing. So it's like hyper awareness of what's going on and how the race is unfolding, in front of them. And of course, the self-propelled treadmills as well too. There's an art to running on those things. So, that long stride that it kind of grabs the mill and pulls it through does
So
help
all the
for sure.
technical nuances are
Not the
also
same as
things that
the.
need to be learned, presumably. I mean, it's not the same as your
That's right.
standard whatever you may be used to, I guess.
That's yeah. So yeah, a little bit different energy systems, different kind of athlete. Anaerobic burn, going really hard, being able to recover quickly. So lactate shuttling, better anaerobic capacity, but then also technically some different skills as well. But that being said, they're still swimmers and cyclists and runners, and they're putting these amazing athletes on a different stage or platform for them to shine. And I think it's super cool.
I went to it 2 years ago when they had it here in 2019, and we were in the tent, and we're like literally like 1 meter away from the pros, and they're all there. And then I was fortunate enough to get the race in it. I did the relay, and so I did the bike, and it was I mean, it's super technical on a every 20 meters there's a corner on a road bike, and it's just not what I'm used to. It's like a criterium, basically. It's not a time trial. It's scary and fun, and the most thrilling thing ever. And speaking of clean water, they're swimming yesterday. They were swimming in the dirtiest. This is the runoff of the drains, the storm drains. All comes into that place where they were swimming yesterday in Singapore. Oh my gosh, I've never seen anyone swim in there.
Well, sometimes you just gotta go with whatever's given you, I guess. I remember doing a triathlon years ago in the Seine River in Paris, and I literally had to sign a disclaimer, which was written in French, by the way, so I'm not sure that I got it all. But the takeaway was, this water is not fit for human consumption. Do you agree?
Well,
I'm like,
I have no choice.
Let's go.
Gosh.
Yeah. Well, I do have a choice, but I'm still going to do it anyway.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a clean river either.
Hey, this is Lance Watson of Life Sport Coaching, and we coach athletes in over 40 countries worldwide, all levels from Olympians, Ironman champions, right over to aspiring beginners and amateurs. Everybody deserves to find out what their own human potential is. And if you like the video, like and subscribe.